My name is Jordan Klingler, and my project is on the effects of human overpopulation. Concern about overpopulation is an ancient topic. A man by the name of Tertullian was a citizen of the ancient city Carthage in second century CE, when the population was about 190 million. He had cause for concern, stating, "Our numbers are burdensome to the world, which can hardly support us. In very deed, pestilence and famine and wars and earthquakes have to be regarded as a remedy for nations as the means of pruning the luxuriance of the human race." Among him, other historical figures such as Plato and Aristotle had concern for this issue. Throughout human history, though, and despite such things as plagues, wars, famine, and other issues, the population has been on a steady rise. It's estimated that 1 to 5 million people inhabited Earth before the Neolithic Revolution. Around 8000 BCE, the dawn of agriculture, the population was around 5 million. In the next several millennia, saw a steady increase with rapid growth in 1000 BCE, peaking between 200 and 300 million people in 1 BCE. Although there has been a continual increase, two big plagues affected the population and slowed down the growth a little. The plague of Justinian caused Europe's population to drop by 50% between 541 and 542 AD. The next major eruption was the Black Death plague between the years 1347 to 1351. It is estimated that it killed between 75 to 200 million people. The levels of the population did not return until 200 years later. There have been other issues since the Black Death that caused minor setbacks, but there has been strong population growth since then. After the start of the Industrial Revolution, the population began to increase even more, with an estimated 1 billion people at the end of the century. It saw a dramatic growth in the 1950s resulting from the Green Revolution. Human overpopulation became an issue due to advancements. Three major technological advancements have coincided with population expansion. They were the tool-making revolution, agricultural revolution, and industrial revolution. These allowed individuals to access more food. Other things such as the increased birth rate, decline in mortality, and medical advancements all played a role in the population continuing to grow. Although there have been many effects of overpopulation, I will be focusing on 5. The first is inadequate fresh water for drinking and sewage treatment. Due to the increase in humans, the amount of fresh water has been decreasing. Most of the fresh water sources today are either unreachable or polluted. Since the population is increasing, demand for water will also increase. The second effect is depletion of natural resources. This is due to the consumption of our resources is faster than they can be replenished. Some examples of this are deforestation, which can have further effect by the release of carbon dioxide and changing the water cycle. Another example is at the rate which we are mining coal and oil. Also, the loss of wetlands from erosion and sedimentation, which can cause effect on the soil. The third is air pollution, water pollution, and soil contamination. Due to more individuals alive, we need more resources. This can mean oil, coal, dumping of garbage and water, nuclear waste, land degradation from chemicals in the soil. The fourth is mass species extinction. This can be caused from overexploitation of natural resources, overfishing, poaching, looking for new areas to live, pollution, acidifying oceans. In 2012, an update from the IVCN Red List of Threatened Species showed that of the estimated 64,000 species examined, roughly 20,000 are threatened with extinction. The fifth is the low life expectancy of humans in poor countries. In a Harvard study over the next 40 years, 97% of the increase in population will happen in less developed regions. These areas will face difficulties for food and water supply, energy and housing crisis, which in turn will have major repercussions for the health of individuals. The first potential danger for the future is the water supply. With the population growing, this means the demand for fresh water will increase. Not only do you have to worry about it for people to drink, but also agricultural needs. One way you would be able to combat this is through desalination, but it's so expensive, especially for poor countries. The second is food supply. As with water, demand with increase due to more individuals is being born and the life expectancy rate getting higher. Although this is not a for sure danger, some scientists believe it will be a problem in the future. Also with the food supply is that individuals are eating more calories more than ever before. Also having the future danger of water deficits will affect the food. For land, usable land is becoming less usable due to salinization, deforestation, desertification, erosion, and urban sprawl. For the issue of wealth and poverty, the United Nations indicates that about 850 million people are starving or malnourished, and 1.1 billion people do not have access to clean drinking water. While the number of individuals grow, these numbers will also continue to rise. Since 1980, the global economy has increased by 380%, but the number of people living or less than $5 a day has increased by 1 billion. As human population drives resources like water and food to become scarcer, there will be an increased competitiveness for these resources. As one journalist stated, it has been observed that the countries which have balanced population, crime rate is very low in such regions. When people are not provided basic necessities, it elevates crime rate. So through this, when you continue to lower the resources available, the crime rate will be elevated due to individuals competing with each other to try and get at these resources. What is being done to correct it? One thing being done to combat this is to regulate the number of children allowed. This is something being done in China, but now in China is a bit relaxed. Individuals are allowed 2 children if one parent rather than both or an only child. The next is to educate people on the effects of overpopulation. This is being done by teaching individuals about family planning and birth control methods. It is also being discussed in some schools throughout the world. The most extreme solution that could possibly happen way in the future is extraterrestrial settlements. Individuals at NASA and Elon Musk have been looking at colonizing Mars. Although it is not an immediate solution for our planet, it could have possibly slowed down the effects of overpopulation can have. Finally, urbanization is being done to limit human activity within a defined area. This would reduce the growth of environmental damage around the world.